direction, can I feel slow? Starting at your navel, perfection, girl, I'm able. I want your body like right now. Them candles come alive, turn them lights out. Cause what you wanna do, I'ma let you be the only one to do that special. So I'll explain, starting first with your heart. I know I said it's pure, but really it's all of you. Your body, eyes, lips, hips, leaves me in awe. Never let you down, it's that show you around to the world. Like girl, explore. And I ain't even close to done, so believe it, baby, you're that one. Know that you're special, just like the wind.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Cigar Sundays live. Tonight's Cigarden Panel discussion is about the word better. In American culture, the word better is more often used in a way that makes people feel the need to separate their thinking and actions from it. We want to know tonight, is it bad, good, or misunderstood? I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always with I am Jazz Garcelle and the God Ali Dawu L at BK Soul Farm, and we are the Cigarden Panel. Peace, family.
Hey guys.
Peace. Saying what y'all dealing with.
We made it.
Yeah, we're here.
We made
it. Has some technicalities, but
we got it going.
Life, bro. You know, that's what it is.
That's it. That's it. But we're gonna do what it takes. We want things to be better.
Of course. Always want things to be better. Definitely.
Better. Take a little sip. Everybody's been weak. How's everybody's week been?
Good.
Super productive. So you know everything is going good. I'm working on getting a airsoft pistol, so I can work on using that to dispatch my rabbits. I figured that a couple different ways to dispatch. You can either hit it over the head, you can either break his neck, you can either slit his throat. I figured shoot them in the back of the head is the quickest.
Why is that funny to
me?
Just a little
poor little bunny. Just down for the count.
Go to sleep, bunny. Go to sleep.
Because my thought process is not going to kill it. It's going to knock it out. So then,
right.
Then you can just hang it up.
I see.
Slit his throat, let it drain, and then you can just dress it. Right, like that's my thought process. I don't necessarily want to hit it. Like,
yeah, you do. You want to hit that rabbit.
Is that a more humane way to knock it out first before you slit its throat?
So I watched a few videos on the most humane ways, and ironically, it's a toss up between busting it over the head or breaking his neck. They got like a prong thing where you got to put the rabbit in there, and you pull his legs backwards, and it's supposed to be like a quick ass process, and it's like a quick whoop.
Okay.
But both of those seem a little bit too graphic and crazy to me. Like it just seemed like I could just bang.
But then you still got to slit.
That part is easy, right? Like it's the contact. It's the yelling, because sometimes they might yell and scream, right?
The rabbits.
You might not hit hard enough, right? Like all those different things, right? So
that's interesting, man.
And like the slitting first, that's cool and that's super effective. But like even that, like I don't want to get into all that. I'd rather it drain directly into a bucket versus flip flopping all over the place dying.
Right.
Yeah, up into a foiling bunny.
Well,
Alrighty then.
Foiling bunny. You
Bugs, how you
watching?
doing up there?
See, that's why I don't need to be rabbit farming, because I'll be on TikTok talking about do the foiling bunny.
right?
Starting a trend.
Crazy, nah, but that's dope though, for real. We
Yeah,
need
and
to
I
be,
say that because you say TikTok, but they don't let you show none of that stuff, and that's the part of the farming that people need to know, right? Like, because people don't get into animals because they don't know how to kill them. They don't think they can kill them or unalive them is the right word, I guess.
unalive them. Yeah, it's killing them.
Wow, unalive. That's
It's killing.
extreme. Unalive.
We say process, but um,
I like that. I like that.
so I gotta say the words. I gotta tell people the other options, so where you don't gotta feel like a sucker for doing something that you ain't see somebody that's been doing it for 40 years or their whole lifetime doing it, right? Like get in where you fit in and do it
Hmm.
how you need to.
Yeah, that is definitely, you got to kill the bunny or the bird. It got to get killed in the process. That's part of the cow, the goat, all of
Pig, chicken,
it. Yeah,
turkey.
that's the process.
And everything screams.
You know? Damn, I ain't know the
Ooh.
little bunny be screaming.
Oh my God,
I
really?
never,
Wow.
you
Ooh,
know.
that's
Is it too much to
right.
ask you to do one for me and record it?
Hold on.
I got you,
Oh
guys.
my
I
goodness.
never, you know, I
The
never
sound
heard.
effects and everything.
I
Nah,
never heard a real bunny scream. You know what I'm
nah,
Right.
saying?
we go FaceTime when that happens. When I get them, we go FaceTime.
Oh, you caught that, Jazz?
Wow. Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Cigar
Oh,
Sundays, man. That's what we do. We have fun with words. A real bunny scream. Hey, I'm sure.
right.
I'm,
Mhm,
I'm sure people who done went to that bunny ranch and they've heard bunny screams. So
and
not the
Some
holler.
type
same,
of bunnies.
not the same thing, but that's
Different kind of
dope.
a different kind of processing.
Different kind of
Different type of
process.
screaming.
That's
But
dope,
yeah.
though. Wow, how to process the bunnies. Yep, y'all. So um, tonight's word is better. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also comment, and the link is pinned in the chat, y'all. If y'all want to come up and join the chat and share your insights. Also, we have some good links in the description. Check out our merchandise. It's the holidays coming up. We got a lot of good things, y'all. Go check out some of that stuff. We got some great sales and great products. So make sure y'all go ahead and check that out. We appreciate that. Tonight's word is better. And what we do here is we pick words, phrases, sayings, and we, analyze them, define them, break them down, and we have fun doing it, and we share our insights. And we have 3 questions that we usually come up with to shape our conversation. And what we're going to do right now, before we get into this evening's definition of the word better, is we're going to go to our questions so we can see what we will be asking about the word better throughout this evening's conversation. So for the word better, we have 3 questions. Number 1, why is the word better commonly thought to be insulting? 2, is there any harm in thinking or saying that you are better than a person, place, or thing? And our third question, can striving for better improve a person's overall decision making and quality of life? So, with our first question, we're going to go ahead and ask the panel, which is us, why is the word better commonly thought to be insulting?
Insulting. Well, I never thought of it to be considered as insulting? Could you kind of explain what you mean by that? Like,
Okay, so what I mean by that is like, commonly we're taught, don't say you better than somebody.
oh, right.
You know, don't think that because you have this or you have that or it makes you better.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Don't if you win, like if you win, like let's say it's a competition and it's 1, 2, 3,
Mm-hmm.
like you're not supposed to think that you're better because you won
Because you
first
won,
place,
yeah.
right? That's the way it's being
That's
taught.
wild, sir.
But you are.
But I
Those are
mean,
like facts. That is what
I'm
it is, literally.
I mean, they did have a first, second, and
Like,
third place, and
right.
an honorable mention. And I think that they did that for the best or who was better than, you know.
The rest.
So
Right.
yeah, who was better than the rest, exactly, guys.
Right. By
So
definition, it was better, best.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just gonna say by action because we don't know the actual definition for somebody to say, do those people even know the definition of the word better if they're telling you that you shouldn't think that you're better and clearly you won. You're you're number one in that particular instance. Or when people say, don't say you better than somebody because you have this, because because
You have more money or something.
because I have more money, because I have a better relationship with my wife than that person has in their whole dating and things like that. My situation isn't better, you know. I may have another person that has a marriage. All right, we can compare apples to apples. I may have a person that has a marriage and they going through divorce, but me and my wife not going through a divorce, right? So I would say our marriage is better because we ain't going through no damn divorce. All right. But then somebody would say, well, you shouldn't say that y'all better. Y'all, why not? Why not? It isn't about the end. You know? So
Shut up. Oh my goodness.
it isn't about the end. Like that's what we talking
Yo,
about.
I was just thinking about the dummy that you would be arguing with that would say, well, you would have to go through a divorce to see if you're better, right? To see how y'all fare after the divorce, if y'all get back together, if y'all's really real.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with that one.
Right. In order to say to that fool, well, I think we're doing better because we don't want to get to that point.
Right, because you stayed exactly. Right.
So we do our best to not get to that point.
We do our
Right.
best to avoid that crap.
To avoid that nonsense. All right.
Right.
So, so going back to the question, does that kind of help with the clarity? Why is the word better commonly thought to be insulting? Because, because we're using it as if it's an insult. There's an example I was sharing with the guy Ali Dawood El earlier, where we say I'm not better than y'all, I'm different. Okay. Now I understand the context of how it can be used, but on the surface, a person automatically can look at that and be like, yeah, don't nobody need to be talking about they better than somebody. You might be different.
Correct. We all
so then,
God's children.
Right. So
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's being used as it's being thought to be insulting, right? Because if I say I'm better than you, then you feel like you insulted. Like if I'm playing against you in a video game and I keep cracking your head, I'm better than you at that game. I keep winning.
Right. Definitely.
You keep having to hit the restart and saying, let me get a rematch. That don't mean you won't get there. Right? You got to keep practicing. You got to implement something to get there, right? So does that help? So why do you think that?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So why do you think that? It's commonly thought to be insulting. because that's how we use it.
The people that I don't even, yeah, because you're comparing something to something else or a person to a person. And, one person's going to get let down or feel like they're less than or not as good. And so it comes off as negative or as an insult, like obviously not to the winner or to the person that's seen as the better, whatever situation it is. And I mean, that is what it is, but it comes off as negative, even if you're not trying to be that. Because there's going to be a person that's in the better position and person that isn't. That's just life in general, or whatever. I got a box of, I bought some strawberries. There were some that were a little bit moldy. This other person, they bought some strawberries. Theirs were perfectly ripe. Does that make them a better shopper than me? No. I mean, maybe that's not the best example, but
It does make
but
their
you know
strawberries
what I
better.
mean? Like,
No,
Does,
it does make
doesn't
their strawberries better.
doesn't
And
make
it,
right,
doesn't have anything to do with your shopping ability, but it makes their strawberries.
right. Like they check them more, or they check the expiration date. I mean, that's kind of like really specific, but like, that's kind of subjective. It doesn't,
okay. Well, I don't think it's subjective. I like
you don't think?
example. No, I
Yeah.
do. You know
Okay.
why? Because I would say they are better than you in a lot of ways. Okay, not just the strawberries. One, then in that comparison, right, to the person who gets all the way home and never checked
Right.
their strawberries until they got home and they got ready to use them to realize that they had made a bad choice. All
Right.
right.
Like 2 days later or something.
So the person who was there and they said, let me inspect these. Let me make sure that they all pretty and nice the way I want them. Right.
Hmm.
They're a better shopper than you are.
Right. They're more efficient. Yeah.
You know, because they cared about it, they put more effort into it. So they are better at shopping. Yeah,
Not
they're a
for
better
nothing.
shopper.
They probably swapped out the moldy ones for fresh ones out of different containers.
Hey,
Stupid.
they came in with a purpose. They
I'm
wanted
from
some
Brooklyn.
strawberries.
I've done some things.
Yeah. You
No,
Yeah.
it's a
know,
big
I
thing.
I
I got
didn't
some
took I didn't
strawberries,
took
man.
eggs out the grocery store out of a crack one and filled up my own carton. Like you supposed to do that. You
Right, because
know?
you don't want to take home cracked eggs.
Yeah. So like just switching it from strawberries to eggs. Like I'm not gonna wait till I get home and then open up the carton and be like, damn.
Right. You have to check things before you leave the
You know what
grocery store. Yeah.
I'm saying? You know, what was I thinking? Oh, you weren't. And clearly you wasn't trying
Exactly.
to have really had these eggs, or you would have checked them. You would have inspected them so that way you didn't get home and to use them, to enjoy them. And yes, so you conducted yourself better than somebody who didn't.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, that was a good example.
Yeah.
For me, I think it comes down to just um, lazy people not liking mirrors,
Mm.
right? Like so in the with the race scenario, 1, 2, 3, in the honorable mention,
Hmm.
I don't think 2, 3 or the honorable mention have any problem saying that number one was better that race
Mhm.
because they number one. I think all of those um, winners and athletes recognize that whoever came in first was better than everybody else. I think that everybody who never ran track, who put their who live life vicariously through other people and put their hopes and dreams on other people and put their expectations. It's kind of like people that bet, uh, uh, like with the fantasy football and stuff like the fantasy sports and stuff like that. Like
Hmm.
anything that person does or don't do, like is almost like for them it's super serious because they got real bread on the line. Like
Mm.
Right.
that's
Yeah.
that's how using the sports analogy, that's how fans, um loser fans, hating fans, hateful fans, straight up haters be looking at these athletes and stuff, like they are supposed to be great and perfect, and they're not supposed to drop pass, they're not supposed to trip and fall, they're not supposed to do anything. But that's just them being lazy, right? Like that's just them, especially like when they feel like they team lost or that person. Remember what's that runner guy name? The or Noah Lyles, I think his name is. Uh, a lot of folks was talking about
Oh yeah, yeah, Noah Lyles, yeah.
how brazen and brash he was. You know, granted he's the brazenness and the brashness is and him running fast is what's getting him put on the covers of everything.
Right.
That's literally what's getting him the attention and the
All the
shine.
sponsorships and the money.
While all that's happening, reporters are trying to spin a narrative or tried to spin a narrative of, don't you think he should tone it down some? Don't you think he's shining too bright? Don't you think that he's too arrogant? Don't you think that he's too right? But all of that is why we even talk about him in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
right? So I'm like to me that reporter is spinning the narrative to the lazy people that can be like, yeah, he do need to tone it down. He
Yeah.
he do need to be humble.
Right.
He do need to just because he came in first doesn't mean that he's the best.
Right, but it doesn't also mean like just because he came in first, but that
How
it
not?
does though. That's the whole. It does though. That's
How not?
Right? He didn't make up none of these rules.
No.
He didn't say ready, set, go. Right? Like he had like a whole nother situation, right? But lazy people, it's easier to say that he needs to humble himself. It's easier to say that, just because you made good choices in life,
You need to not. You can't wear them on your sleeve.
you you
You can't wear your good choices on your sleeve.
you can't wear your good choices on your sleeve. You shouldn't be proud of yourself
Like, come
for
on.
for your for real talk, for your regular accomplishments, right? Because you're supposed to progress. You're supposed to start from here, move a little bit, elevate, move a little bit more, elevate some more, right? You're supposed to progress in life. Like you get older, you get taller. That means something. Like that means that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go up. You're supposed to get better, right? Than you was yesterday, right? So if you didn't do 50 push-ups yesterday, you gotta try your best to get them today,
right.
Exactly.
right? Like I think it's just lazy people, bro. They just hate seeing the mirror, and when they see somebody that especially if they see somebody that they saw themselves in, right? Especially too closely, and it's like, yo, we from the same projects. Like how you make it, like for real, right?
Hmm.
It can be tricky, and it comes down to that person just didn't put in the work. They was just being lazy, and now they see you win. That's what I think.
No doubt. No doubt. They ain't seen you putting it. They didn't see you put in the work. Or they even saw you putting the work. I think they could see you putting in the work too, God, and they could still come to that conclusion, like you said. But they just and it goes back to that. Ultimately, they just lazy. They don't want to do the work, you know. But I love
Yeah.
to ride your coattail till you tell them to get off, and then
Hey,
why is
what do you think though?
I know I'm going back to the question real
Yeah.
quick. Why is the word better commonly thought to be insulting? Um, man, I think that it's thought to be insulting the, because of just how at some point in time somebody made the word better bad.
Right.
Somebody deviated
Hmm.
from what we believe better to like all the things we was just talking about as far as like them being better, like better is a thing. Better is like
Right.
better is a
It's a
real
real.
thing.
It makes sense. Yeah.
I could taste it. I mean, I could simplify it. I could taste a pie and this one was good, but I tasted the same type of pie, different recipe, and it was better. So because we given meanings to words, and now everybody has demonized the word better, until it's convenient. I think that's the reason why it's so insulting, because it's still people picking and choosing words and not having full comprehension or full understanding of what the word is. And instead of just like we not taught, we don't know the definitions, and nobody seeks to try to find the definition to even see if they're even using the word correctly. And that's what I was talking about. I think when we was offline, God, and I was just like, I don't know how people even part their mouth to say that they respect Malcolm X and his journey and his evolution, and they don't tune into our show, or they not a person who's willing to examine the words that they were taught and how to use them correctly. So
he told you he read the dictionary.
He said he read the dictionary, So that's when I'm just like, okay, in order to understand where you at and what's going on, like we just going off of the Merriam-Webster and maybe a Google definition or a Cambridge dictionary. We haven't even gotten to like a Black's Law dictionary to define what these words mean.
Exactly.
Under the rule of law.
That's
you
different.
Get what I'm saying? See, I can take it to another level. We having fun with this. To not put it on, so severe where it seemed like, oh my God, I can never learn that, because people so lazy. They don't want to change. They don't want to improve. They don't want to be better. It's shit. Soon as it seems difficult, then they get bothered and they quit because it's easy. So I think that, that's one of the reasons why, because it's encouraged. We're encouraged to be quitters. We're encouraged to not want to be better. That, being number one ain't enough. Don't worry about you ain't got to be number one. Like, why?
Yeah, you do. Why not?
Why do you not? Why shouldn't you value striving to be the best version of yourself? And we competing against everybody and everything.
Right.
Outside, I'm talking about like outside the house. You should,
Yo, God, listening to you, and what ran through my head was, we're being encouraged and we're being taught to not be the Messiah, right? We are being taught that we cannot be the person everybody look to. We cannot be the person that we even look to ourselves. We have to be looking outward, away from ourselves. So the idea that you are the best, or you think you're better at something, is almost like you're God's gift. And it's
no, God giving you them gifts.
God definitely did give you those
gifts.
gifts.
God giving you them gifts. So you is God's gift.
That's what I was
God
thinking.
gave you them gifts.
Because why wouldn't you want to actually be as Christ-like as possible? Right.
If that's where you got your your word from.
That don't mean that you're putting down people who don't do that. Like, unless that's what Christ did. I don't think so. Right. So what would be wrong with you doing that exactly and claiming that's what you're doing out loud? Why would that be blasphemous?
I'm saying, right. Who's it blasphemous to? That's the thing. I'm not. If I'm saying I'm better than this, then like, hey, it goes again. If I'm not getting foreclosed, bro, then I'm doing better with my finances. If I'm not getting divorced, then I'm doing better with my relationship. If I'm not living from check to check, then I'm doing better with my budget. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you pay your house any time before them 30 years, you better than the person that paid them.
That gotta take 30.
They gotta take 30. You made a better choice. You made better choices. You was more disciplined. Right.
That's it. I wanted to do my best.
Maybe more educated. Who knows, right?
I had to get better.
You did.
than what I knew. So I had to learn some more so it could help me be my best. But we getting so, we getting trained and taught, and it's coming from like within the community, like don't be better than, don't say you better than somebody, and just because you got a house, a car, this and that. Yeah, I'm doing better than a person that don't got a damn house or a car, or they money fucked up or whatever. Yeah, like, and you should want to strive to do that yourself.
Who
And
do
and
they, who do you think you are? Like
yeah, who you?
think about that question, bro. Like when folks ask you that, who do you think you are? Like they compare that to the king or a boss, right? They compare that to somebody, not even another one of y'all peers, but somebody who is right. Like who do you think you are to be walking around with your head up?
You know,
Whoever I want to be.
God, right. And the problem that I really have with it is that it's like when you see stuff like that, it's like, wow, I wonder if the person who put the most energy into making this type of thing, into teaching this, into regurgitating this type of stuff, I wonder if they value calling the person that they see that may fit that description and say, what is it that you do that allows you to maintain those things, to be so successful with that?
Mm-hmm.
Can you share that with me? Can you teach me that? Can you, so that way I can, because those things I desire, I want to do too. I want to have that type of, level of comfort in my life. And if they're not going to do that, then it's like, well, if all you're gonna do is say, "Oh, you better than," then it's just like, okay, that's a level of judgment I'm cool with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but that's you thinking I'm better. I know I am. Period. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying, like, we can be better too, because we can learn from each other. If I can learn from you what not to do, and you got some stuff, you can look at me and say, "Oh, he think he this because he got this going on." If you want to learn how to do that, then you can be taught how to do that. We can teach you how to do that. But
Right, exactly.
but are you willing to do the work? Do you want it that bad, or do you want me give it to you? All right, you want me give it to you. You don't want to ask for it, and I see a lot of that going on too, where people want people to give them information, but they don't want to ask for it. It's just like I got a podcast, one of my podcasts, Bows on the Table. I've really been, peace, God. I've really been contemplating, if I was going to continue that, because I value having, other people and building their brands and building their networks and their things together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really that comfortable sitting online just talking to the camera, just just solo, just me just talking in front of the camera. I like to have somebody to engage with, right? So that's why I don't put out a whole lot of content like that. All right. Now, I look at the Bows on the Table podcast, like the financial information, like it's so many people that know, they see, like they say they know what I got going on, but they won't call and ask nothing. So it's like they waiting for me to do the podcast so then they can just get it without having to be like, "Oh, you gave it to me because I asked you." And that's corny to me.
Oh, you mean like information about how to do it and stuff?
Yeah, like anything to do with your finances. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like you could call a person and you could ask them, because you don't have to get it from online. You don't have to wait for me to do a podcast. You can call me directly and I will give you the information. Okay? So you can do the work. I'll give you, and if I don't know it, I will help do the research with you. I will get you in the right direction. Okay?
My experience with stuff like that, guy, what I found is people who have a tendency to just not want it from me in my particular situation, right? Like thinking about what you were saying, you're doing your show, and they know that you have this information. A lot of times they thinking that they would rather get it from the person that you getting it from, because you clearly are not smart enough, or you're clearly not the person to have this information, right? You must have got it from somebody, and if you got somebody on your show that's talking about it, that must be where you got it from. So let me listen
That's
to that.
crazy.
Let me listen to that person. Y'all get it a lot, man.
That's crazy.
That where me and my efforts get overlooked for people that I bring in to stand next to me to either shine light on their efforts, or to help out, or for them to help me out on the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
All right, and it's and that's why I brought up the whole Messiah thing, right? Because it's a constant pulling you down, when people are thinking you're trying to leave them, or you're trying to go too high, right? And the reality is, you really just trying to get yourself in a better position so that you can see whatever it is that you need to see. And
That's it.
you really want to bring as much people up as you possibly can, but you can't if they're pulling you down. If they just hang on, that's fine, and climbed, but they just can't pull.
Right. Right. And they don't want to contribute. They just want to be succubuses. You know,
They want they want to
they
pull,
want to drain. They
and
don't want to add on.
they want you to drag them up, right? So they want to drain your ass, and now you
Yeah.
tired, and then when you get up there, they want to be like, "Whoo, all that work," and now they want to hit the ground running while you sitting there tired.
Yeah. Not on my watch.
Not on my watch. I'm paying
not
attention.
on my watch. Yeah. I got, I'm standing a taunt watch over here, man. So we not playing with it. Our goal is to be better all the time, and that free ride don't exist. So, it, it it should encourage people, or it should ignite people to want to be better for themselves, because when you have it, then you have it, and can't nobody take it from you.
Correct.
I don't understand why people don't get that. That when you have it, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
riding a bike. Like, can't nobody, once you learn how to ride a bike, you got it, right?
Right.
Okay, so if you can't ride a bike don't ride a bike for 12 years, you're gonna get back on it, and in a day you're gonna be back on it. I don't know if you're gonna be popping willies depending on your conditioning, you know.
Because that is
Right.
all conditioning.
Right, that's conditioning,
You know what I'm saying?
but you would still be able to ride. You still have your balance, you still have your mechanics,
Right.
So if you implement being better in every area of your life, like, where can I improve at? Y'all seen how we started this show. Like, it was, y'all don't think we've grown in the show, like, even trying to be better in multiple ways, even with doing this, where we got a little bit more structure to things, and like, we try and grow in every way. To which ways can we be better in all ways? It ain't just,
Right.
oh,
Exactly.
this is good, and better is not. And to me, like, better is not the end product, because once you get to better, there is somewhere else to go. More better, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Like that ain't the end. Because what I talked about, the pies. All right, so I made a pie, right? And then I made another one, but the other one was better. Now, what do I have to do? I got to try to replicate it. I got to make that recipe perfect, so it's the best one every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? I end up getting better and better and better as I keep practicing, as I keep learning, as I keep implementing what I need to do to get that to that level, so I can get that consistency, so I can get that finished product.
Right.
So it gets better with time, and it keeps getting better because you keep doing the work. Not sitting around trying to be a succubus and just, act
Yeah.
like, act like everything you doing right now ain't what I told you to do. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everything you doing right now is what I told you to do. Everything you doing. Living where you living is where I told you to live. Everything you doing is what I told you to do. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't gotta talk to me, punk, cause you can't even swipe your credit card without thinking of me. Cause you wouldn't even have that without me. Period. How about that one? Yeah. How about that? You're welcome.
Yeah, that's so
You're
sad.
welcome.
That's
You're
sad,
welcome.
man. That's sad.
You can't even swipe your credit
sad.
card without thinking of it, because you wanted to be better. So I helped you be better because I gave you the skills to be better because you weren't. You was fucking up your money. You didn't have no discipline. Okay. So how you get with American Express? So every time you swipe that, you're welcome. All right. You're welcome. Okay. Be better. All right. Because we don't help people that we don't want to see be better.
Right. Better than us. Exactly.
You know,
not even better than us, just better than it was yesterday.
Right. Better than they was treating themselves because
Right,
they didn't know they was treating themselves bad. Because they wasn't being responsible with themselves. And they seen a person being responsible with themselves and they said, I want to know how to do that. Can you teach me how to do that? And I said, yes, here you go.
And then it got hard because they had to do something. Yeah,
You see?
I mean, it goes one to two ways, right? Like they either fold when the effort is required, or they follow it, lock, stock, and barrel, and act like they did it on their own.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I remember, God, you said you got me this far, but you didn't get me to this point. Like, like you put yourself in a worse situation than I got. Than the person who helped you got you. You put yourself in a worse situation, thinking that you was actually leveling up.
That might be a societal thing now that I'm thinking about it, because what grade you learn how to read? What, first grade, second grade? Like whatever grade that is.
Yeah, like first grade.
At home.
I mean, you should learn at home, of course.
Yeah, but I'm talking about as far as grades though, as far as like whether they're home.
Yeah, like
or
first
not.
grade.
Like first grade. I think it's crazy that first grade teachers get paid less than college professors. Right? They get paid.
What did you say?
I think it's crazy that the people that are responsible for teaching doctors and lawyers and politicians and judges how to read get paid less.
I know, right?
They are valued less than college professors, and I'm like, but these people are so valuable. Like you couldn't even get to college without these people.
Right. Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean by that. Right. Like I think that's a societal thing. Of when you said, but you didn't get me this far though, it immediately made me think about the first grade teacher that got to go and take money out of her paycheck to go buy some extra crayons.
Like
compared to the college professor or the coach at the university.
Like,
right.
Man, like you don't even have the know-how. You ain't even have no, you know what I'm saying? And people say, bless you. People will say, oh, eventually I would have got there. Eventually, no, you wasn't, because you wasn't doing the shit that you wasn't doing the stuff to get there.
Wasn't even thinking about it.
You just happy to be able to take advantage of an opportunity, because if you an opportunist, you an opportunist. That's what you are. You don't want to put back into nothing. You just want to take. It's a lot of takers out here though, but that's okay. We happy to give sometimes, man, because we know we've been better, so that's why we had something to give. Because people who are not in better situations really don't have nothing to give, so they gotta hold on to what they got. They gotta crab. Better. Tonight's word. Objective. Comparative of good. greater than half, improved in health or mental attitude, more attractive, favorable or commendable, more advantageous or effective, improved in accuracy or performance. Then we have it as a verb here. Let's go to make better, such as to make more tolerable or acceptable, to make more complete or perfect, to surpass in excellence, to excel, intransitive, to become better. As an adverb, in a more excellent manner, to a greater advantage, to a higher or greater degree, more. Then we have it as a noun, something better, a superior, especially in merit or rank, advantage, victory. And then we got an auxiliary verb. I never even heard of an auxiliary verb. Shows how much education, shows how much I paid attention to shit. You know what I'm saying? Why this is needed for real. Had better. You know? Oh, but I done heard that before in the country. I know one thing, y'all had better stop making all that damn noise.
And look at the sentence. You better hurry.
Yeah. Yeah.
You better hurry.
Y'all better shut up.
Yeah. y'all had better for somebody coming in. Yeah. Because somebody, y'all had better for somebody coming in, tear that ass up. So then we got let's go ahead and run through these synonyms right here. As a verb, we got beat. Hold on, let's go in here. Okay, so how do we have? Okay, so we have better as in special. All right. And we got exceptional, fancy, high grade, excellent, elite, superior, exclusive, choice, great, elegant, superb, wonderful, terrific, outstanding, rare, exquisite, marvelous, splendid, superlative, first class, baby, prime, select, jewel-like, marvelous, par excellence, stellar, premium, fabulous, unsurpassed, fine, transcendent, classic, top notch, first rate, dainty, sensational, noble, sterling, tip top, grand, you know, and some other words that I can't really pronounce. Ultra rare. But I'm gonna say this: who don't want to be better?
Yo, son, that word
Right.
ultra
Who
rare.
wouldn't want to be right?
That shit look
All
French
those.
to me. You said ultra rare. I could not see that until you said it.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Ultra rare. Yeah. I couldn't get this one right here. This.
That's what I saw that one. And I looked to the right, and I'm like, man, they look like the same French. I'm like, man, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I don't know that one. Richeri. I don't know. That's it. And then I don't know what that one is. I don't know whether you
Richeri.
Whether you Bijou or Bijo. We'll fuck that word up. All right, so we got better as in more. Then we got to a greater or higher extent. Then we have better as in superior, boss, elder, leader, master, chief, senior, head, advantage, the more favorable condition or position in a competition. Advantage, edge, opportunity, odds, high ground, stead, start, jump, upper hand, vantage, pull, lead, privilege, bulge, coin advantage, drop, superiority, benefit, whip hand, with the whip hand. That sounds like the pimp hand. Margin, inside track, catbird seat, allowance, dominance, precedence, transcendence, preference, prerogative, predominance, mastery, head start, ascendancy. That's twice, ascendancy and ascendancy. Okay, leg up, supremacy, foothold, seniority, windfall, command, blessing, break, boon, godsend, felicity, and mana.
Wow.
All right. To at better as in to exceed, to be greater, better, or stronger
Mm-hmm.
than. You know, that's what we be trying to do, to exceed what we did last time. That's what we was talking about with the pie reference. When I made one pie, it wasn't that good. I made a second pie, it came out better. And I wanted to,
Right.
and I wanted to keep on making that pie. I wanted to, make it be greater than the last time. I wanted to exceed my expectations, make it be better, make it be stronger than. I wanted to get strong in the recipe where I don't need to look at it no more. I could just do it up the top of the dome and make the perfect pie. All right. So I'd be surpassing,
Mm-hmm.
I would be topping, I would be excelling, I would be outdoing what I did last time, doing it the best, transcending, outshining, overcome, outclass, master, overtop, outmatch. I do one better. I'm gonna do you one better. You heard people say that. I'm gonna go one better.
Yeah.
I will be towering over the last thing that I did, outgunning. Then they say it's the worst. That's interesting. Like that, like to see how that plays into it. Worse. We may have to look at that word because worse is being correlated to better. I think people have been using the word worse in the wrong way, in the worst ways. Defeat,
Mm-hmm.
overshadow, outweigh, outpace, outrun, shame. Here we go, shame in the word better, as in to exceed. That's another word y'all probably gonna see on Cigar Sundays coming up soon. Because when we see things like this, they spark our interest and say, wow, why is words that we know people use in American culture, in our everyday life, like shame and worse, being associated with something
Right.
as to be greater, better, or stronger than?
Stronger,
So for
greater,
me, for
better.
worse, looking at it, just thinking about it, is worse than, like, it's the highest level of something bad. It's the next level. It exceeds bad. It's the worst. That's how I
Okay.
look at it.
Okay. But this is a synonym, though. These ain't antonyms. So that's
No,
why I'm
yeah,
just like,
that's what I said. That's like, so using the word worst, as it is as in to exceed. I'm saying that it's exceeding the word bad.
so we saying don't do your worst.
No, I'm saying that the
Try not to
word,
do your worst. Is that how we would use that in the sentence? Hey, try not to do your worst. Like, hey, I'm going to go play this game today. So I say, hey man, try not to do your worst.
uh,
mm,
I don't know about all that. That doesn't sound right.
You get what I'm saying? That's why we need a show for it.
Yeah.
That's why we need a show for it, because they correlating it with the word better, as a verb, as in to exceed, to be greater, to be better, or stronger than. Is that really to do your worst? Have we really been tricked in that word and not know that that word really means something else? So, I mean, really is defined as something else, but we've given it this meaning.
Worse. Yeah.
It's really
Worst.
defined as something else, but we're giving it this meaning
Yes.
of
Negative.
something negative. I mean, we do that with a lot of shit. We do that with better. Clearly, that's why we talk about it. Let's go. Let's you want to you got another one, God, before we go on to improve.
no, no, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Then we got improve as into better, as in to improve, to make better. And then we got improve, enhance, perfect, help, refine, remedy, ooh, ameliorate, ameliorate, upgrade, enrich, remediate, amend, reinforce, correct, ameliorate,
Yeah, I think
strengthen,
that's ameliorate as well.
okay, rectify, intensify, reform, rehabilitate, fine, revise, boost, fine tune, rework, revamp, refurbish, polish, reinforce, amend, beef up, fortify,
Beef up.
retouch, touch up, hone, rehab, edit, correct, know, and that's better. That's what better is giving. Better is giving off.
Greater than half.
Yes, indeed. So let's go to real quick, y'all. We do let's go to Google real fast and let's see what Google got going for us. So Google gives us better of a more excellent or effective type of quality. 2, partially or fully recovered from illness, injury, or mental stress, less unwell. Then we have it as an adverb, more excellently or effectively. The noun, the better one, that which is better, one superior in social class or ability, and then improve on or surpass an existing previous level or an achievement. I think they have a little bit more. They give us a little bit more down here with it. Let's see, the etymology, Old English, betera,
Betera?
Yeah. Yeah.
Adjective of German origin related to Dutch, beter, and German besser, also to best.
Wow.
All
That's a
right.
lot.
And then did we have anything around here? Yeah, we did have improve on or surpass. Then we had make something better to improve, achieve a better social position or status, overcome or defeat. And then they have someone here in the way that they're using this in this verb form. All right. And then this evening, go ahead, God.
Now I was thinking about that someone. That's important because there will have to be a comparison. Right.
Absolutely.
You just can't be better than quote unquote nothing. You have to be comparing, got to be something comparable.
Right, obviously.
Right. They're right. And that goes to when the people say, you know, just because you have this or you don't have that or you did, yeah, they do. They better off. They have it. You don't.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because most of the time people only complaining about that saying is when they don't have it. It's
and want it.
Yeah, it's usually the people that don't have it that's telling people that they ain't better than somebody because they got something.
Definitely.
You know, like when was the last time you heard, you know, I don't know, Elon Musk tell Mark Zuckerberg, like, I'm better than you because my boat is, you know, 400
I got a robot.
I got a 400-foot yacht and you only got a 275-foot yacht. You know, like, so my boat is better. You know, the boat may not be better. The boat may be bigger.
Right.
Now to your point, says if Elon got robots and Mark Zuckerberg don't, Elon is kind of better.
Elon is better.
He got robots.
Okay. Well, we talking about that. Yeah. Okay. He is.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. His workforce is more efficient.
I'm gonna
right?
say, like, good Lord. Right.
He could say that. He could say, I got a better workforce than you have.
Definitely.
Because, you know, because I have less errors in that. What are they comparing? They comparing something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
So it's fair to be better. Like, you know, like people just want to be, you know, I don't know what the hell people want to be, man. So usually, y'all, we do a Wikipedia definition as well, but we're gonna start using this Cambridge dictionary, which is also like Merriam-Webster.
Right.
And just because I'm realizing that a lot of people do source a lot of stuff from Wikipedia, but just to give a little bit better accuracy for what, you know, for what we want to do, it's better to try to see to compare some of these definitions in, you know, these actually books that are being used in the school systems, you know.
That's good.
Because they aren't, you know, like
Excuse me.
I understand that, like, I had a talk with a college student, and they was like a family member of mine, and they was just like that. They don't allow them to source Wikipedia for
Right.
when they writing papers and stuff. They have to,
Mm.
it's certain stuff they can, but like it's very limited. Like it has to be specific, and then you have to like cross reference it. If you use it, you have to cross reference it with something else
Mhm.
that is accurate. That's like it isn't a self-edited publication, because I think anybody can
Exactly.
just edit stuff on Wikipedia. So
Right.
from now on, y'all, we're gonna be using Merriam-Webster definition, Merriam-Webster, and we're gonna be using a Google search, because
Mhm.
commonly in practice, everybody's like, Google it, right? So
Exactly. Yep.
that's the first one that comes to mind, and then we have this dictionary at Cambridge.org. So if y'all want to reference these words, those are the things that we use, and you can go and check them out. So moving right along with our definition, y'all, for this evening with the word better. Um, in the Cambridge Dictionary, we have better here, and it says comparative of good, of a higher standard, or more suitable, pleasing, or effective than other things or people. A higher standard, or more suitable, pleasing, or effective than
Mm.
other things or people.
Wow.
Okay. All right. And then we see some things here that say, like, I'm just going through these little tabs where it says, if you are or get better after illness or injury, you're healthy again, right? So you got better, to improve, to get better. Then we go down here with the adverb form of it, A2, in a more suitable, pleasing, or satisfactory way, or to a greater degree.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And then we see things like to a greater degree when used as the comparative of objectives beginning with good or well. Okay. That's trying to make a sentence. We're not trying to do that.
Right.
All right. And I believe, what else they give us? They give us the noun right here. Better as a noun, something that is of a higher standard than something else.
Hmm.
Better.
And they use the race, ironically, as they
Did they
What?
symbolize.
use that? He ran 100 meters in 9.9 seconds, and I have in 9.91 seconds, and I have not seen better.
Wowzer.
Then we have better as a verb, to improve a situation.
Hmm.
Okay. We also see here to better yourself. Right. We'll go ahead and read that real quick, even though we're gonna stick, we're not going to improve your social position, often by getting a better job or education. It's a shame his limits is to getting a job or education, but that's what they're doing in Cambridge. Better,
Mhm.
adjective, of a higher standard, or more suitable, pleasing, or effective than other things or people. Comparative of good. And that was just taking us back. It's just taking us back over it. And we read all this already. To improve a situation,
Mhm.
condition, or a person. And then what else we had here? To a greater degree, or a more suitable, pleasing, or satisfactory way. Yeah.
Hmm. It's a big definition right there. Better. All those synonyms.
Yo, so I stand on my answer to the first question is lazy people not liking the way their reflection looks in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Because all those things, every definition, Cambridge, I even looked up the Oxford definition, the Merriam-Webster. everything was it was comparing one thing to another thing. Everything had scales, everything had degrees, like even the word itself, even when it's applied to negatives, is the worst form of that negative word.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right?
see.
It's the most extreme form of that negative word. It's not just that negative. That's why I'm saying like worth is the most extreme form of bad. Right? That's why they can put it in that same category because you're measuring
Mhm.
levels.
Right.
Right. So I stand on that, bro. Like it's lazy people that just would rather criticize every step you take than to actually take any steps, not even the same steps you taking, but just any steps.
Right.
Absolutely. So before we go into our second question, we're gonna go ahead and get into this evening's flavor bombs for the evening.
Hey,
So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick little 30, 60-second break. After 60 seconds, we'll be back with Jazz Garcelle and the flavor bombs.
Happy holidays from DBCHEFTV. Get dipped in fresh drip with 25 off the entire website from now to January with a huge selection and savings for every Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and Christmas list. Celebrate the holiday with DBCHEFTV gifts. Visit www.dbcheftv.com and tap the gift shop link.
this whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016, 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
We getting this money, ain't no limit, what's the cost? You ain't got it, don't run it up on me. Baby, I'm a boss, babe.
Hey guys, it's Jazz Garcelle with your flavor bombs for the week. So, as we all know, Donald Trump, President-elect Donald Trump, is getting his cabinet together. So, recently, one pretty interesting pick for the education person, the head of the education Department of Education, Linda McMahon, who is a former WWE executive. And it's funny because I'm seeing all these things on TikTok, these memes and little videos showing employees like, doing wrestling moves, saying what's going to happen when she gets into office. And which those are pretty amusing, but I would say, um, yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But she doesn't really have any experience in education. Okay. Secondly, um, secondly, this wild weather. So in the east, we are having like snow, major snow northeast, up to upwards of six feet of snow. And we're having rain here in Pittsburgh, which is, it's whatever. It's officially winter as of December 1st. And that is one of our, it's great to be in the winter season, of course. Oh, former president, well, I guess, Joe Biden, he's pardoned his own son, Hunter Biden, with his felony weapons charges. So I guess that pays to have a father that's in office. Um, you can get all your charges pardoned. I'm not sure the details on that, but that's very interesting. He just, pardoned his son of felony charges.
So yeah, so God, would you want to go ahead? You want to take that first?
Yeah, so for the first thing with the Department of Education, so firstly, I don't know anything about Linda McMahon's qualifications, um, meaning what she does or what she brings to the table. I know nothing about her education level or about her intent. Uh, the fact that she's connected to the WWE, it just adds to the narrative that I'm already thinking that the education system is ran by monsters that have no intentions on properly educating and informing and giving us the tools that we need to be better. Actually, I think that
Word.
the tools that we currently get are meant to keep us stagnant and keep us as trained monkeys, right? So I have no idea. So I don't know what her qualifications are. Um, I can only hope in the thought of better that she would bring some kind of new enlightening form of teaching or new new
Yeah,
info
right.
new information that she wants all 50 states to teach as far as history or whatever. Like I don't know. Like I have
Yeah.
no idea. I have no idea about that, right? Like, and I only mentioned that because I heard you mention she has no qualifications in teaching or in education, and
Nope.
I don't necessarily know if that's a necessary qualification in the first place. If I'm saying that the education system is crazy and messed up, I don't know if I trust the people that's in it to be the ones to say that they need something different, right? Like I mean, it depends on the person. Like they could be revolutionaries, and I can rock with them. The second thing, yo, this weather, yo, got my whole body going crazy. Like the seasons change. Like I start breaking out.
Hmm.
Um, like even though I live down here in South Florida, like
Right.
because I'm from Brooklyn, like my body still reacts to all the different season changes still, whether I'm having them or not. And I go through shifts, and so it's kind of crazy. So yeah, like this weather's bananas. The last thing, Joe Biden pardoned his son. Yo, not for nothing. If I'm the president, I'm pardoning
Right.
all that I can.
Right.
Like we all say, at least in the military, where they say rank has its privileges, right? Like so, if those things are true, it can't not be true just because this person's the president and you want to hold them to some kind of moral whatever, right? Like
Right.
if rank has its privileges and he the president, I think his son could be pardoned, right?
Right. Exactly.
Which I think is crazy because you can't even serve your family members as a cashier in grocery stores, but he can pardon his son out of prison. Like that's wow.
Right. Can't teach your own kid in school. You can't have your
That's wild. But
yeah.
yeah, so that's what I got on that. I think all that is yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Linda McMahon on the education. I don't know. Maybe she's gonna lay the smack down on
Right.
the
That's what they're.
DOE.
That's what everyone is talking about on TikTok.
And maybe she gonna come off the turnbuckle with it or something. I don't know.
Make it
But
fun, right?
yeah, I don't know. Like this. I think that the president has a lot of positions that he can appoint.
hmm
So this
Hmm.
is why we see these weird appointments, these things that just look like, that
Right. There's
leave
just
us
so
in.
many things he has to fill.
Well, that's not the problem. I think that when we see people that we wouldn't automatically associate with in these positions, because they aren't one, we don't keep up with everybody who's qualified to be the
Department of
the
Education
yeah,
Department of Education leader. Yeah,
the
Right.
secretary of the Department of Education.
yeah.
We don't keep up with who's the most qualified, right?
Right.
Don't keep up with who's the most qualified to be the Department of the Secretary of Defense. We don't keep up with who's qualified to be the Department of HUD and Human Resources and Department of Justice, and we don't keep up
Hmm.
with these things, right? We don't know these people. Um, to get a name like hers that's associated with something that we're familiar with. We don't know what she has been doing as a billionaire's wife,
Right.
so we don't know how involved Linda McMahon has been in education. We will have to research it and see if maybe part of their foundation has been contributors to education and things like that, because they got somewhere
Mhm.
where they getting contributions and where they're taking advantage of the tax codes,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying, and they making it work for them, so like
Mhm.
that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not going to demonize being wise stewards of your money. I'm not going to do it. um,
Mhm.
so I don't know what that means. Like I was the same like we are now with this. I was perplexed when Dr. Ben Carson,
Right.
let me put some respect on it, became the director of HUD, the secretary of HUD. Like I was just like, you know, welfare, brain surgery to welfare, dog. Like I don't.
Doesn't really connect, but okay.
Isn't this his second appointment into one of those office positions, something like that?
I don't know. He's getting reappointed into something else because Trump back in office. Probably so. I mean, I wouldn't. My boy get. I,
Yeah, I
Because
wouldn't.
I would.
it sounds because he's the helping hands guy, the healing hands guy, right? Like he's the heart guy, right?
Healing hands. Yeah, healing
Like,
hands.
they made a whole movie about him. Like,
Mhm.
Gifted hands. Was it gifted hands or
well,
something?
I know the Mighty Most Def played him.
Yeah, he
Um,
did his thing, man. Like I said, like he's a walking icon.
he's like that
Right.
guy. That guy should be like the charge of the healthcare and stuff like.
Right. Something more in his
I don't,
field.
I don't know though. I don't know because see, I can't assume that he should be in charge of healthcare
Yeah, that
and,
is
and
true.
and administrative and stuff, because it's just like we know, like he may be a brilliant brain surgeon. Like he could take a brain apart and separate a brain and work on the brain in his sleep, right? Because he
Right.
studied and practiced to do that. But that don't mean he studied and practiced to know what's needed and what's necessary to run the whole administrative department and
Right, of
personnel and what that
healthcare.
thing needs for people, for everybody, for a community. You know?
Maybe that's what Trump is doing, right? Because even the DOD guy, you know, for all intents and purposes, he and I got damn near the same qualifications, right? But maybe it's not putting in people that's like Jazz said, uh, this person has no qualifications or no experience in education. Maybe that's the point. Maybe let's bring in business people that know how to run organizations
Right, exactly.
and
Which,
and and
yeah.
have them run this the same way that they would run their organization and tell them to make it
Right.
successful.
Okay.
And
And,
and if
and that's
that's the
fair.
case, you hire a bunch of coaches and they just coach their style, right? Like you're not necessarily. I don't know if it's important if they are not necessarily teachers or whatever or doctors. Like I said, Ben Carson don't because he was a doctor, he might not necessarily be qualified to run. Because I didn't think about healthcare. I thought about somebody knowing about diseases and stuff. I thought about somebody knowing about. I didn't think about healthcare and what all that entails.
Yeah.
And now you're talking about lawyers and people with MBAs and stuff like that, right? Like
Mhm.
Well,
you're not.
he's a doctor, so he got a PhD.
No, but I'm talking about you talking about money though, and
I
legal
mean, but
legalese
some of the
and legalese and whatnot. I think
yeah, now for the legalese, yes. For the legalese, yes. But like we said, like it's some financially illiterate attorneys.
correct.
You know, they may be brilliant attorneys. Like
Right.
they'll get you off the case with the gun in your hand. They'll get you with the OJ. I mean, he was
Mhm.
acquitted. I'm not saying the brother's guilty. All right, but I'm just saying, like, but that still don't mean that they, you know, but I do agree with what you said as far as like putting them in there, and they may be good leaders, so they may know how to find the right talent, the people, the sharp people, and
Yeah.
then they put
Do
them
what they
under
need to do. Yeah.
and then they position them to be able to work those areas, you know.
Correct.
And yeah, I think that's capable, that's possible. Um
Definitely.
yeah, but
Oh, and I
Snow,
only came to that because you specifically talk about you mentioned the WWE affiliation, and that made me think, but like she got to be a winner because they are winners.
Right.
That's what I thought about. All right, so yeah, go ahead, God. Excuse me.
yeah, I mean, or it could be a favor. You know, so
You never know.
you
Yeah.
never know. You never know. Snow in the Northeast. Yeah, get a jacket.
Get a coat.
Right.
Back in the
You
days,
know?
ooh, you got it. That triple fat goose.
Yeah, triple fat goose. You know, a down jacket, something with some
Mhm.
down in it.
Right.
And
Goose down.
and then Joe Biden, man, like I mean, just of course I would pardon my own son. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it isn't too much I could think of that I would you know, I know something I could let him ride in prison for though. You
Mhm.
know, it would
Mhm.
it would hurt me to do it, but I do have my limitations. But when you talking about what he was doing, most of his stuff he was doing was like, what did he pardon him for? What was it?
No idea. Oh.
Gun charges. Like he had
Yeah,
a,
yeah, that's like
weapon
He,
and
without a
he, he, ain't,
license
he
or
ain't shoot
something.
nobody. He just had the gun on him, right?
Yeah, no, he had the gun in his possession, and he may not have had his license, or
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
okay. So yeah, so like I mean that's like little gun charge. That's like, you know, even if it was something the way it was a fraud or something like that. I mean, that's what the position comes with. Even if he took some funds or embezzled some money or something like that. I mean,
Right, white collar
yeah,
crime.
yeah, your
As
daddy,
long as he don't take no ass
yeah,
or
yeah, or
or
touch
or,
no
tou-
children.
or touch a child,
Yeah, or touch no children.
I'm
Yeah,
saying everything
yeah,
else is pardonable.
yeah. Pretty much, pretty
Pretty
Hmm.
much,
much. Like
pretty much. Because even if he murdered somebody, you know, you never know the circumstances that he was in a
yeah,
situation. You know,
yeah, right. Like yeah, it's the sex
Self
thing to me
defense or
that's
something.
yeah, you know. So yeah, so that's that. And you know, we're gonna see people get pardoned and stuff like that. All the presidents usually pardon people, and I believe that Kim K was actually petitioning for pardons and things like that. So
Right.
that seems to be a natural part of the process where the public is now being made more aware of the pardons that are happening. You know, it
mhm.
used to be kind of quiet, it's kept.
Hmm.
So it's kind of good that it's a little bit more transparent now. But I mean, keep your black ass or keep your ass period out of jail. You know, you ain't got to worry about whether you need a pardon. For those people who ain't gonna get a pardon, I don't get no pardons. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nobody. My daddy ain't gonna be able to say,
Right. Pardon.
you know. So we're gonna have to be a lot more responsible.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Um, But yeah, that's it. That's it right there, Jazz, on the flavor bombs. We want to thank you for that right there with the flavor
Mm.
bombs.
We getting this money and no limit. What's the cost? You ain't got it, don't run it up on me. Baby, I'm a boss, babe.
Yep. And getting back to the show, y'all, we are talking about the word better this evening. And we just had the flavor bombs with Jazz Garcelle. We want to thank you for those.
Of
And
course.
so far this evening, if you just joining us, make sure to like and share the video. Also subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays live. And check out the links in the description, y'all. We got some holiday sales going on. The holidays coming up. We appreciate y'all support. We got a lot of great things. Go check it out. We've been talking about the word better tonight, and we've been going through our questions. And the first question that we had this evening was, why is the word better commonly thought to be insulting? The Cigarden Panel exchanged some very interesting insights. I suggest that in the early part of the show, y'all go back and y'all catch that, because we're going to go ahead and move on to the second question of the evening. Question number 2 tonight: is there any harm in thinking or saying that you're better than a person, place, or thing?
No. Well, since you're making it a noun, when you think of a person, I feel like, just how we were saying, like the qualifications with people that are running different departments of the country, or the government. Excuse me. Um, you have to have certain qualifications. You have to have, like, what deems you better than the next person, what what makes this thing better than another product. Like, why is this? Yeah, why is this product more efficient or better than this product? It's almost like you have to test it out and see. Like when they do like consumer reports and they have, different products, and they say, like, uh, this lawnmower is better than this other lawnmower because, it does the job better. It has, the way that it was manufactured, or, whatever, it's better for those reasons. It was built with durability and, efficiency. Whereas this other one, it doesn't have as good, um, it wasn't made as well as the other one. Yeah. So that's
Okay.
it. Yeah.
You know,
Okay. Okay.
so I'm over here looking on the Cambridge, right? Um, and I'm looking at it as a noun, and it says something that is of higher standard than something else. And then, it shows the example. But then as I scroll down, it got the word betters with an S on it. And it says people of higher rank or social position than you. So
Mhm.
because they put an S on betters to identify people that are of higher rank than you are,
Mhm.
I don't think if those people was to acknowledge that they are your betters, that they are being arrogant if it is true,
You don't think that?
right? Like I think the judge is the judge if you stand in front of him. I think so. I think the judge would be wrong for being a judge at the dinner table,
Mhm.
but in his courtroom, like he is better or she is better. But hanging out,
What's the conversation at the dinner table?
I know what
it,
they talking about.
I don't know if it matters. I
It
think
does matter, because then it's like, what is it? What makes it better
so.
at one place or the next?
I think if it's in the judge's wheelhouse, if the conversation is around a judge's wheelhouse, then I don't think we're having a conversation. I think we're having a lesson. I think he's giving he or she is giving a lecture,
Mhm.
and we're learning because this is in their wheelhouse. But if we're just jaw jacking around a table, you being a judge or whatever don't make you right in this conversation just because you are a judge.
Right,
Right.
but it's
Exactly.
not making them right. We talking about better.
Yeah, but
It's not making them
Better.
right.
but it don't make your position better just because you're a judge, right? If we're not
No,
talking
they
about,
could say some dumb shit. They could say some dumb shit too. They could.
right.
Of course.
But what I'm saying, if they said some dumb stuff in their field or for their field, it might only sound dumb to you, but you might not know the ins and outs. That like they might know something is about to change, right? And it might sound crazy to you. I don't know.
Oh
I
no,
just
no, no! I'm rocking with you. What I'm saying is like, okay, I get it. In the courtroom, they're in the best position in that courtroom,
Right,
right?
as the
They,
judge.
Right.
yeah, they are in the
they
best
they
position.
going home. They going to lunch and they
Uh,
going home. They
Right.
100%.
right. They
Getting
are not
steak and
going to
eggs.
they not going to jail. They not worried about going to jail. None of that. They not worried about paying no fines.
None
None
of
of that.
that.
So they in the best position in court. But now
Mhm.
we at a dinner table. Now you said you gave two places. You gave a wheelhouse. We at the smoke pit.
Yeah.
All right. And then one is we we sitting at the table and we eating together. Okay.
Mhm.
So then now it's based on the conversations because we've already agreed if we in those settings together, those personal settings together, that there is a level of equality that we share,
Facts.
you know? So we're not measuring each other's
Anything.
faults or downfalls or anything, or
Mhm.
successes or anything, because quote unquote we meeting on a level, right?
Right.
So we meeting on this level, okay?
I think lazy people forget that part though.
Yeah, they forget it. You know what I'm saying?
Lazy people forget that we are the same. And if you see me here, I'm here to give you game if you want it.
Yeah,
Right?
give you the game. Like you don't have to pay for it.
Because when I don't want to give it to you no more, I just won't come around no more. Right?
Mhm.
Like you won't even see me not to give it to you. You just won't see me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What's funny is people that ain't never go game, they ain't never gave nobody no game, think that they can take that attitude. That's some funny shit right there. But
Mm-mm.
that's here nor there. But but in those settings, like it's all equal, you know. So, like you said, you're learning. You should be learning from each other, and that's in those settings,
Yeah.
you know.
That's what I'm saying. Even at the dinner table, if you're having a conversation about law in reference to a judge, right? Like you can't debate him about, like, you shouldn't be debating him about nothing.
That's why it's learning. That's why in that
That's what
environment,
I'm saying, right? Like,
that's why
but
in that
but
environment it's learning. But they can, but
people will feel,
individually,
yeah, people will feel like because we're not in a courtroom right now and we're at a dinner table that I can argue with the judge right now. I can debate and prove this person wrong, so to speak. And I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, you can though, like as far as, but do you have the right information, right? Do you have the better information?
Correct.
Because that's what it's on. And then even though it's a debate, it's still a debate of gaining an understanding. Like it's like having an argument with somebody and you get frustrated, they get frustrated, but y'all still talk about whatever it is so y'all can get back on track. Now it took for you to get frustrated. Maybe the other person didn't get as frustrated as you got. Maybe they had a
Mhm.
calmer head about it. Maybe it was vice versa. But we knew that this was just a moment. Both people knew that this was just a moment. This isn't a end all be all.
Correct. This is not
Because
every day.
right, because this is not an everyday occurrence. So this is just something that, and the way it's playing out, it's just playing out this way. It's just for us to work through something to get through, so we can keep on going in the direction that we going in. So that's just an exchange. That's an exchange. That's an exchange, and trying to get the communication effective, trying to get back on the right track. That's all
Mhm.
that is. But I mean, I swear, it's people who think that they are that valuable and they ain't. I swear that it's people who think that they do that when they don't. But we just can't get away from that. and in those situations, it's supposed to be between those two people a learning lesson, like we learning something collectively. It's not
Correct.
it's not supposed to be like, fuck you forever. Over one thing. Like,
Right. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like you was just asking me yesterday, was we going to the mall? Or was we going to the store?
Right.
Or
Exactly. Now, like,
was we just planning this trip to, or like, so how does that go? How does that go from that? Now, in a better situation, like how do we go from that to not trying to get better?
Hmm.
if the
And
person doesn't care, if they were faking it, if they don't.
yeah, I mean,
really
that's what
care.
you have to. That's what you have to give them. You can't give them anything other than that. That they're being them sincere selves. So whether that helps, whether that improves or make things better, I don't know. But is there any harm in thinking or saying that you're better than a person, place, or thing?
No, I don't think there is.
I mean, I'm gonna say I don't think there is, but I'm gonna say that there is harm in it. And I'm gonna say the reason why it's harm in it is because the way people interpret the word better.
That's you being nice. Yeah. 100% agree.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to look at both sides of the coin. I could have just killed it.
Yeah.
But
No, I feel you.
yeah,
No,
no, I
100% agree.
could have just totally ride the way, like, Jazz, I'm where you at with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm with God is that with it too. I'm just saying, like, we didn't examine that other side. And that's what I'm saying, like, because of how in American culture we give meanings to so many of these words and we have no clue of the definition. Whoever's
Right.
watching this evening probably has not looked up the word better in ever.
Ever.
This might have been their first time that, I'm talking about since high school or junior high school or something, that they even examined the word to see how it even applies to their life at all.
Mm-hmm.
Am I even using it correctly? Am I guilty of saying, oh, I don't think I'm better, or I don't want people to think that I'm better than them.
Right.
That you want to limit yourself when better is what you strive to be.
Right.
On purpose, that you do things on purpose to make your life better, to make yourself better, to improve your health, your wealth, your communication, your relationships, your, education. I mean, name it, go down the list. You trying to be
Right.
better.
Everything.
Shit, I was driving a hoopty last year. This year, I'm in something better. Like,
yeah.
I wanted to, but I had to do what I needed to do. I needed to get my finance together. I need to get my credit together. My credit needed to get what? Better. My finances needed to get what? Better.
Better.
Like, I'm using all this stuff figuratively, but
right, of course.
But
it
it's still
applies,
relative.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had to do something better in order to get it. You desired something better in order to get it to those places. And most people needed help. A lot of times people needed help to get to better.
Yo, God, you
Mhm.
said you had to do something differently to get there, and that different. I was thinking you had to do something consistently to get there. That's
Right.
Well,
that's what
that
I was.
too, I think.
That's what I was thinking. That was that different thing was the consistency that you didn't have before, which you have now, which is why it's better.
Right. And the education.
Yeah.
A better education about how to manage it. Like we was talking about the credit.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't know the in lieu of cash method, all right. If I didn't know that it's beneficial to use your credit cards, okay, and or a charge card. If I didn't learn the difference between a credit card and a charge card, okay, then how would I even know how to apply them to my budget to take advantage of it, to be better with my finances? Like, So you have to learn these things and you have to do the work, you know. And then
One of
if you
those joints is forgiven and the other one is not.
you see what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, and you gotta pay one in full. So you gotta
Mhm.
be disciplined, you
That's what I
know.
mean by forgiven and not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Cause
Wow.
cause American Express, they ain't going away. They like, nah, you know. But but the other one, what, the 30% interest?
Yeah.
they
You
like
pay
they like
$25.
they like take your time.
Take your time.
Of
Take your
course.
time. Take your time. Amex like, nah, you got one time, dog. After that, you know, it's a privilege, you
Mhm.
know. So enjoy the privilege that you got from me. So,
I gotta get going soon, guys, but definitely want to talk about the third question.
oh nah, so you gotta
The
stick
third
around. We're
question.
not gonna fast forward to the third question. You gotta go.
Oh,
We gonna
second, two.
yeah, but what we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do is, if you gotta go, Jazz, we want to thank you for pulling up this evening. Before you go, we want to ask you, is better bad, good, or misunderstood?
I think it can be misunderstood. Um, because people perceive it as, like I'm doing better than you. And yes, better, it means you're at an advantage. You're doing better. You're doing more than the next person. You have more food, you have more money, whatever. But I think sometimes people misunderstand the word, you know, as a negative, kind of relating back to, I think it's number two. Um, but it's just a feeling. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to do better. You're supposed to want to do better in life, and in whatever. Um, take um, advantage of opportunities and work hard and do things so you can be in a better position than what you were last year. So
Or yesterday? I get it.
yeah, or yesterday, whatever. Yeah.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right then, Jazz. We thank you for pulling up. You
Of
have a peaceful,
course.
positive, and productive start to your week. And
Thank you,
you know
guys.
what I'm
You
saying?
too.
We'll be looking to the flavor bombs next week, and we see you next week.
Good
All
night,
right. Bye
sis.
bye, guys.
All right. Peace, Jazz. All right. So we've been talking about question number 2. Is there any harm in thinking or saying that you're better than a person, place, or thing? And just to reiterate, like, yeah, I do think that there's harm in it by the way that people are using the word. And because we are not using it in relation to what the definition of it is, and it isn't encouraged, we aren't encouraged enough to be better. We're encouraged to don't think you're better, and that puts a strain on
Which
people
equates to don't do your best.
to don't do your best. It's okay to not do your best.
But
It's okay.
but
It's okay to be a bum.
pretend like you was though.
It's okay to be a loser.
Mm.
Losers are special too. I don't know where. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even at the casino. You put your money in a machine and you don't hit, you kind of pissed off. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where losing is winning. I do know that
Only from learning a lesson to not go
only
back to the casino.
that's it, right? Except for, and I was gonna say that, except for the learning lesson of what not to do again, of what
Exactly.
that's a win. That is absolutely a win. But essentially that helps you be better, unless you just like repeating the same things and putting yourself in the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're not trying to be better, because you keep allowing yourself to go through the same thing over and over and over again. So good luck with that. Our third question for the evening is, Can striving for better improve a person's overall decision making and quality of life? Can striving for better improve a person's overall decision making and quality of life?
Yeah, I just answered that question. It's the consistency. It's the wanting to literally be the change that you literally want to see in your world as well as the world. Right? So yeah. Right, like yeah. Again,
Yeah,
it's consistency, bro. It's being consistent to compare yourself to you of the past. If the past was 5 minutes ago, if the past was yesterday, the past was 5 years ago, the past was your childhood, right? Like you got to be consistent in order to make those changes to be a different person than what you was. So yeah,
yeah,
that's yeah.
yeah, definitely. Consistency is key. You know, decision making and quality of life. I mean, it comes down to that. I always say that I subscribe to it's about the choices that we make. Everything is a choice. So I need to put some effort into the choices that we make about all these things. Anything that you're doing that is important, you need to put some effort into making to the choice, some assessment, some some time, energy. I had people say study long, study wrong. I think that's some bullshit. I think when you're making choices in life, man, you should be study as long as you need to be informed so you can make
As
a
long
good
as you
decision.
need to,
As long as you need to, right?
because that study long, study wrong thing applied to that person or those type of people that if they study for too long, they wind up forgetting stuff or they wind up second guessing everything or whatever. But
Yeah,
just
that's
because
there.
that's they ass.
Yeah, that's there.
That's not you. That's not you unless it's you,
That's right.
right? But if you need to study more, then you have to do that because that's what you need. To not do what you need is kind of crazy.
Right. But we tend to generalize things a
Yeah.
lot, especially stuff like that. Those things are generalized when people talk about, study long, study wrong, and blah, 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 and go on and just do it. And just, you know, like, hell no, don't just go on and just do it, man. Just, take your time so you can do it right the first time if possible, learn what we need to learn so we can, we always say, like, when you putting your foot in the door, that's not the end. You got your foot in the door. Now there's still more work to be done. There's some hallways you got to walk through. There's some steps you got to go up. There's some doors you got to open. There's some rooms you got to go in. It's a sink you got to turn on in there. It's a toilet you got to flush. How long you going to be through that door?
It's the whole rest of the steps you got to take. Right, because getting your foot through the door, in the door, like you said, is not enough. Like you still got more steps.
You still got more stuff to learn. And it ain't always gonna come natural. You may have to work a little bit hard. We was talking about that, like sometimes people don't vibe. People would think because they have to work, people will resent you because they feel like they have to work so hard and you don't have to work as hard, and you get this and you get that and you don't have to put in as much effort as they have to put into. Well, I say to those people who think like that, like, what have you put energy into to build anything for yourself?
Correct. Correct.
You know, like, do you waste time on shit that ain't gonna get you nowhere but the same place? The difference may be that the person that you evaluate and saying, well, they think they this because they think they better, which they are, where it comes into play where I could say, no, I don't think I'm better. Like, you know how the meme go, the thing, I'm not better, I'm different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I say, well, I don't think I'm better. You think I'm better than you.
And
You
that's the
know?
truth that again, that's why I come up with lazy, because that is the truth, that they think that you are better than them, but they too lazy to grasp at that straw. They would rather grasp at, oh, you think you better than me.
Yeah, and be stuck on that, you know. But and I even ask, it's like, how do somebody think they better than you if they teach you everything they know?
Correct.
How do somebody think they better than you if parts of your life right now that you living is only because that person who you think they better than you taught you what you know now for free, gave it to you, then didn't want to see nothing but you shining. You get what
Yo,
I'm saying? So
I
like,
do, yo, for stuff like that, guy,
that
all
shit
I
corny to me, man.
it is corny, right? But that's that post traumatic slave syndrome stuff, right? It's the cats don't be thinking that they deserve to win, right? Like it's not them. Like they can't be the like like people are cool with their 15 minutes of fame because that's all they think they should expect to get is 15 minutes. Hell, you got some people say, man, I'd be happy with 5 minutes of fame, right? And it's like you can have you can do some strange things for 15 minutes, or you can be consistent at what it is that you enjoy, that provides for you and your family, and win forever,
Yeah,
right?
winning forever is the idea.
But it's that 15 minutes of fame. It's that I want my attention. I want my what do you call it? Recognition.
Recognition for what? What you
For,
do?
you know, and
You know what I'm saying? It's
I
like,
hear I hear a
what
lot of
you
people say
do?
that, and I'm one of those people at work where I hate being recognized for things, right? Like if I'm not standing in front of people talking, I'm super uncomfortable. If somebody else is talking and they talking about me and I'm just standing there and I just gotta stand there and watch everybody looking at me while this person is talking about me, I'm uncomfortable than a mother. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
But
I
but
know the feeling, God. You know,
you
I know
know.
the feeling. Hey, tell CS1 to come out here because this the admiral. This the admiral's wife. One of them, whichever one I'm there working with. You know, it's been 3 or 4 of them that like my sauce. You know what I'm saying? Bring out the guy who made the barbecue and blah blah blah. And y'all don't know he's over here at this unit, and I had to call and tell them to get this unit, get them from this unit to come over here. And I'm in the back, like taking my time, sweet time. Like hopefully they just forget about, because I do not want to go out here. You go out there, you get clammy. You know what I'm saying? Like you wasn't invited to eat. You was invited to cook.
Yeah.
You know, so like, so I don't want to be praised. You know,
You could
everybody full,
you could
right? Everybody ate.
you could tell me it was good when you bring me back empty plates.
That's it.
When you see me, give me a high, a wave, down the hall or whatever. I don't need, and this person did this and they're distinguished for this and that. People look at
Exactly.
people sitting there looking at, for real? That guy? This person for real? They don't look like they're the type to do this. They don't look like they're the type to do that. Like, yeah, but if you keep listening, he telling you.
We got a visitor back here in the back. Let's bring you up. Dawson, be respectful.
Hi, I'm Dawson from Rampage Video.
Rampage.
Peace.
What you guys do? Peace, Dawson. What you guys do at Rampage Video?
We do rock music and album reviews. So I collect vinyl records and am also here just kind of working on the voice, on the mouthpiece.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you for joining us, pulling up. We talking about the word better this evening, Dawson.
Hmm.
And the question that we going over right now is can striving for better improve a person's overall decision making and quality of life?
Hmm.
What do you think about that?
I was thinking about this yesterday and I was like, okay, better. So we talk about self improvement and we talk about, oh, I'm going to be better tomorrow than the next day or the last day. But also at the same time, we have our core, we have our kind of soul, and we have our being, and it's like our being already is what it is, our kind of the thing that makes us who we are, a kind of personality. So you can't really be better in that sense, but you can improve your skills, and maybe if you improve the way that you approach yourself to other people and situations and that how you handle problems and maybe the kind of charisma that you have, I guess you could be better in some ways. So in some ways it also is paradoxical.
Very paradoxical. And um I like one thing that you said as far as like, your being of who you're going to be. But I don't think that that has to do with wanting to improve because like, and I'm not just nitpicking, I'm just taking that right there. Because like, okay, the being, the whole who we are being, right? So like some people just supposed to be bums. They not supposed to try to do anything better. They not supposed to try to strive or anything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so what we looking at is, so if we see a person and everybody's judgmental, I always say everybody's judgmental. We just pick and choose when it benefits us. So if I'm looking at this person, I'm saying, well, that's their being, that's their existence, and they're just, you know, an underachiever. That's it. Right. But what if I have a genuine love for that person, right? Where I share information to help them achieve higher,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's ultimately saying that, okay, well, I could look at you and I could just say, based on what you're doing, the way you're conducting yourself, all right, you don't want anything better because you're not doing anything better for yourself, all right? But the universe put me in your life. So here's some things that I'm going to help you with because I think that you can be better. Maybe you just don't know how to. Maybe you haven't been exposed to people. You haven't been around someone who gives a damn enough about you to share these things with you. Okay? So
Yeah.
I'm going to so while we spending this time, you're not going to be able to leave me or turn your back on me, and you can't say that I ain't give you something that you can keep for the rest of your life that's valuable.
Hmm. It's kind of like when you meet someone, and it's kind of maybe before you make, I wouldn't say judgments because like we do have this kind of compassion that we have for other people. There's kind of that in between part that it's like where kind of before you, I guess you could maybe make some kind of assumption, but when you do see somebody that you might seem like they might need help or assistance or guidance in some kind of way on an innocent level, there's that kind of acceptance that the person's already in the state that they're in, no matter kind of what state that they're in. And that person kind of maybe has to accept that they're in a certain state before they receive that help, on that level of acceptance that they have before some kind of program or some kind of improvement happens after that.
Yo, so I hear what you're saying, and it's something I want to go back to what you said and what Pearl was saying because I talked on the you mentioned the soul, right? And that conversation um is so much higher than this mundane level that we're on, right? Like people don't understand basic definitions that other people agreed on to say that that's what these words, this is the definition of these words, and people are struggling with that. Pearl asks, so if somebody is a bum, are they just am I just supposed to let them be a bum? So I think the bum, based on what you're saying, Dawson, as far as the assumptions, the bum might be offended if they do just want to be a bum and they made that choice and they are living their life the way that they choose to live their life. If you walk up to them and say, hey, I think you can be better.
Mm-hmm.
I think if that person made a decision to be that person, I think you're offending them if they didn't ask for your help. I think that's a different person than the person that we call bums, that's acting like bums, that's super lazy, that don't want to do better for themselves, that just want to complain and literally just looking for handouts. I think those two people are different. But I think once you bring in soul, a soul, we're not talking about humans anymore,
Mm.
right? And we talking about humans on this show.
Yeah, yeah, like because that's the difficulty that all of these words that we examine, we are accepting that these are the definitions of these words, you know,
Yeah.
because somebody did create it, you know, there's a origin of the word and the etymology and stuff, right? So we've been taught these words. What has happened is now we given these words meanings that have nothing to do with the definition of them.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
we're using these words incorrectly
Based on our feelings.
based on feelings and emotion. They're not based on actual the given definitions of them. So when we do that, you know, it's even when a person will ask you, when a person will like Ali just said, when a person if we walk up to him and ask him, or we walk up to him and say, I think I got some things that help you be better. No. What if they say, I'm trying, but I don't know. Can you help me? And then you help them,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I've had it, you know, like both ways,
Mm-hmm.
where I reached out to people like, hey, let me help pick you up. And then I had where people asked. And in both situations where you reach out to a person, help pick them up, they still turn around and start to envy you because of something, you know, and then they could ask you for it. And then they still start to envy you of something. Like when you started teaching them, you were supposed to decline or something, you know, or when they learned it from you, now they want to do something else, you know. Now it's like gimme, 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 gimme. And you like, hold up, I'm giving you tools that you're not even applying in a way that they can benefit you. You know, like you need to go put these tools together that I'm giving you, because then you don't need me to give you. I'm giving you the tools and resources so that way you can do for yourself. All right. But then there's an envy that comes with, there's a jealousy that comes with that. I don't know why in human nature, like you trying to help somebody be better, and then they start to spite you because you gave that to them. Like that, like I don't get that dynamic. That's the human dynamic we on, and
I think
that's soulless.
yeah, I think we said it earlier, God, like not being on the same level. Like people forget that would like unless you are a higher rank than somebody, or unless you are of higher importance for all intents and purposes, everybody's is the same. When you walk up on somebody and now that person accepts your help, and then they start to exhibit or show you their envy and their jealousy, that's always been there, right? Because from that person's perspective, y'all was never on the same starting point.
Mm.
Like, you was always higher than them, and but now the more they get around you, the more familiar they get around you, they kind of feel like your peer, but it's always that constant memory of you pick me up, so we ain't. You're gonna always be on top to them. Like they forget that you're just a regular person, just like them, which is why you talk to them in the first place.
Right.
Maybe Chef, I could tell you why that happens.
Well, why has that happened?
Well, it also
Please
happens.
enlighten
I
us.
just wanted to acknowledge, like, I am kind of jumping in here. I didn't catch maybe some of the preamble and the definitions that we're using here. I'm just kind of coming in
Nah,
No,
hot
no,
here.
hey,
That's okay.
we welcome you to the podcast. Those you out first guest in the chat and
Oh, cool.
on the live stream, and
Hey, all right.
we welcome you. Thanks for joining us, man. Hey, you in on the conversation? What you got to say?
Okay, yeah. So I'll check some of the replay out. So one of the reasons why this happens is that yes, as BK Soul was saying that some of the emotions are already there, but sometimes the person is already ready to receive help, and everything will go step by step. And then sometimes, depending on maybe the person's past, that when they do accept some of the help, that the person helping is kind of showing a mirror up to their face, inadvertently or by accident. And this thing kind of happens where the person receiving help is kind of projecting onto the person holding up the mirror. And now that they get to see a clear reflection of themselves, that they start, all these emotions start to come up, or that they kind of see maybe this discrepancy of where they are or where they want to be, or there's also some psychological things that happen, and then that's where the kind of the frustration sets in for someone receiving help, which makes it difficult for the person helping or some of their peers to kind of see that happen.
Man, that makes sense, but isn't that called a moment of clarity? Like, and don't people who care about you want you to look in that mirror, want you to take that hard look in the mirror? You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I would think people who don't give a crap about you, right, would not want you to look in that mirror so you could be the best version of yourself. Like, look at yourself. This is what you looking like, you know? Like, I don't think that you're this, you know, and you definitely can't be that hanging around me because I ain't that. You wouldn't be hanging around me if I was that.
Mm-hmm.
If I was that, you wouldn't feel comfortable enough to want to come sleep on my couch.
That's all facts.
You see? So
That's facts.
So I want you to value yourself the way you value me. And that's where people will misinterpret things and think that you are defamating them or downing them when you're saying, no, I value you, but you not acting like you valuing yourself.
Yeah.
So you should. And if somebody love me, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna share something with y'all since you pulled up.
You ain't lying, Roxy.
I'm gonna share something. I'm gonna share something with you since you pulled up. There's a friend of mine from neighborhood I grew up in. And when I was a teenager, he told me, he said something to me. He said, people are scared of you. Somebody gonna kill you. That's what he told me. Okay. I'm not going to elaborate on my youth. All right. But I'm not no what they call I wasn't always the person I am today.
What they say, you wasn't a square.
You know, but in hearing that, I actually said something to him that if he pulled up 25 years later, I contacted him and I said, thank you for telling me that. I said, and I apologize for the way I responded when you told me. Because had you not told me that, I may have not made the changes that I needed to make to be here now, to be able to call you and thank you for saying those words to me. Okay? But did I like that? No, I ain't like that. Did I think he was being disrespectful? Hell yeah. I wanted to do something to him for telling me that. A friend. Somebody who never posed a threat to me or harm to me or nothing. But those words made me want to be, but he was telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see myself.
Hmm.
I could not see myself until he put that mirror in my fucking face. So I love him for that to this day.
Facts. Thank you, big bro.
True.
Because he showed me that. So I said, I gotta pay it forward. I don't hang around a lot of people. But when people in my circle, if you in my circle, then my goal is to get all of us on the same level. Because I like winners around me. I want you to be in the winner circle. I don't want you to be the handout man around the winners.
That is a winner's circle.
It's a winner circle.
So there's other winners. It's not just
right?
me by myself. It's not like there's just one winner for all of everything. No,
Because
the winner
teams win.
teams freaking win.
Hmm.
You know, Jordan couldn't be Jordan couldn't have done it with a bum squad. Scottie Pippen and BJ Armstrong and all them guys, they wasn't bums. You know, LeBron had to go to Miami to get a chip. And D Wade and Chris Bosh wasn't no bums. You know, you have to have a team. You have to have other people that play. You know, you have to have good team around you. So like, no. So if you around and
Ooh.
I see you not conducting yourself like you trying to be a champion, then what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just pacify you? Am I supposed to enable you and just, oh, don't worry about it. You'll be okay. One day you'll make it. One day. Nah. And I'm getting up every day and I'm running as hard as I can and I'm working as hard as I can. No. Definitely not. You know, that's reserved for your children.
Nah,
So that's reserved for your children. They the ones who supposed to be, you know, unable to fend for themselves until you teach them and build them up to get them to that level to do that. You know, but a grown man, no. You know, so being better is what should be at the forefront. And sometimes we don't always receive things the way we want to receive it. You know, it don't always come out the way we want it to come out. But I know one thing, I didn't do nothing to Big Dog, Big Damon, Big Rose. Shout out to Big Rose, man. Shout out to Shady Side all day. Big Rose. What's up, dog? Big Dog. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. He knows that. He know this ain't cap. You know, shout out to him. So you need that. You need people that love you will do that. People that don't give a crap about you, they're not going to do that. They're not going to try to put that mirror in your face, like you said, dog.
They would actually encourage your BS. Right?
Yeah.
They would encourage your crashing out. They would encourage all your ratchetness. They would encourage the debauchery. They would just so they can have something to look at and laugh at, because they're just
because they don't care about you if you win or not.
They don't care about you at all, fam.
Wow.
But they'll be nice, right, and make you think they care about you, you know. But they'll just be nice,
right? Laughing with you, really laughing at you. They laughing with you while they laughing at you.
Correct.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough to distinguish that sometimes, but you know, when you really can, you'll find out who your real friends are and who's just there to kind of just watch it go around.
Yeah, if you don't abandon them.
Yeah,
you know,
that mirror is a hell of a thing, man. You know, you talked earlier, like your friends in your circle, like they either got to be on your level or better. Right.
Like, that's what I'm learning.
Like they cannot, like it cannot be. If you are not on my level, or I'm gonna say this, not better. I don't want to say beneath me or lower than me. I'm gonna say if you're not on my level or not better than me, I have absolutely no reason to hang around you, right? Like, all I'm gonna do is lose what I do have because you don't have it either. and you can't help me maintain what I currently have or gain what I need in the future, right? All you can help me do is nothing,
It's nothing.
and I can do that by myself.
That ain't even on the agenda.
That ain't even on that. I got mad things to do, son.
Right, doing nothing is not even on the agenda. You know, like we got a whole network. We trying to have people, coming together, having conversations like this about everything. You know, so no, nothing is not an option. Nothing begets nothing. Nothing don't add up to nothing. So we need to keep adding pluses. That's what we need. We need doing action, because you can get something at the end of it. We want to be better. That's what the whole conversation is about. We want to go from where we were yesterday to today and do something today that's going to possibly make it better for tomorrow. So even today, we think about being better tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We're not going to demonize the word. And that's what we do in American culture, man. We demonize too many words and add meanings to them, because we have gotten completely away from what the word is defined as. So everybody running around here just trying to be right instead of trying to be correct, so you can make a properly informed decision. Because being right is better now than just being, well, at least I'm right. At least I'm right about that.
At least I'm right about that.
At least I'm right about that.
You're incorrect about everything else, but you made a right statement. Yep. But they say a broken clock is right twice a day.
Come on. only to a person that ain't got nothing to do.
So I was saying that joint is broke all day.
You ain't got nothing to do. If you got a broke clock, you ain't got nothing to do. You ain't paying
Time is
attention
it?
to the time. Yeah,
I got to get going soon, guys. I'll stick around for a few more minutes, but this is
No,
great conversation we're having.
Well, we do this every Sunday at 8 p.m. So, you're more than welcome to pull up, Dawson, anytime, man. It's good seeing you.
Yeah, I'd be glad to chop it up.
Yep, you can check us out on Instagram too, if you got Instagram. I know you said you do something with rock music.
Yeah, with music, yeah.
Okay, so like, you want to come and you want to plug your stuff, man. Like, you more than welcome to come on the channel, and we promote what you got going on, family. That's what we do. We try to build up everybody. If you come spend time with us and have these conversations, then we also want you to be able to promote what you got going on too when you're not here.
As long as you're not a monster, Dawson.
I'm a cool cat.
Okay.
I got this is let me turn off the background here. I was just on Royce in the House. We were talking about the Doors. So you can see me on also Sunday nights on Royce in the House.
Royce in
and
the House.
Check out Rampage Video Channel for some music videos and talking about all good music. So yeah, thanks guys for having me on. I'll leave you with one quote here. I like the quote is give somebody a hand up, not a handout. And it really gives people more compassion and allows people to be helped so that they can be better. And the person that you want them to see and the person they can be, there's a way to get better. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, thank you for that. And we appreciate you pulling up, Dawson.
Yeah, man.
Have a peaceful, positive, and productive start to your week. And once again, man, we thank you for pulling up and exchanging insights with us this evening.
DP Chef and BK Soul, nice to meet you guys, and peace out.
All right, peace, bro.
Peace, bro. Yep.
Yeah, nah, better is just, I keep every time you say it, like we keep putting our meanings on these words and forgetting about the definitions. Meaning got to be synonymous with our emotions. Meaning got to be how we feel about it, because there's no way that you could think being right is higher than being correct.
It is though. It is.
Like, nah, being correct is way better.
I know.
Like being corrected,
I know.
like being corrected is like you're not just right, like you're correct. Like you ain't gotta argue with nobody. Like you ain't gotta have this conversation because you're correct already, right? Like, yeah, so
I mean, the game shows look for the correct answer.
for the correct answer, not the right answer.
They don't say you're right. They say correct.
Correct. That's true. And you can't get no money with the right answer.
And you can't get no money with the right answer. You need the correct answer in order to
Yeah.
get the money.
Yeah.
So
No,
you
you ain't
know,
lying. I didn't think about that.
yeah. So I mean, it's before us. We just it's so emotions have just taken over the stratosphere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just everybody's emotional about this and that. And then some of the basic things that we don't even need to apply to is being applied to, because it's like it's okay to be emotional about certain things, you know, but it's just when your emotion is about every damn thing in every single aspect of your life. Like there's no part of your life you actually use some logic, none.
And I'm saying it's okay to be emotional about every goddamn thing, but you shouldn't make any actions based off that emotion.
Then why didn't know? Nah,
Like, like,
nah, because you gotta spend some time doing some action. You got if you
yeah,
take
I'm saying, separate your thoughts and emotions from the actions that's necessary, right? And do what you need to do, right? Like,
yeah, definitely need to separate your thoughts from your
you know what I'm
actions and
saying?
do what you
Like,
need to do.
I'm
Absolutely.
saying if somebody did something to offend you, um, it's okay to be angry and be mad about that. But if you allow your anger to make you make a rash reaction, and now you losing your freedom or your life forever based off that one decision, I think you could have took some time to say, you know what, I don't need this drama right now. Let me press on and go on about your life while still being mad, and go vent to your therapist about it, or to your wife or whoever, right? But be alive doing it, or have your freedom doing it versus allowing your emotions. What you say, fuck nigga? Bow. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
All
Yeah. Yeah. You absolutely right. I
right,
can.
so
Hey.
I'm saying still be mad, still be hurt, still be, just don't do anything with that. All right, like
Yeah, I think it's situational for everybody.
yeah,
And I know I've learned from my what you say, fuck nigga. You know what I'm saying?
right. That's what I'm saying.
Situations.
Right?
You know, but I also think it is not even an excuse, it's wrong, period, because you do jeopardize all of them things that you just mentioned. You
Everything,
jeopardize
bro.
that, you know.
Everything,
Um,
and you're gonna say, like, everybody, it ain't worth it. I
yeah,
remember, I remember
it ain't
going up to the penitentiary to visit my uncle. We went to a few different ones, because they moved them and stuff, right? And we used to go to these festivals that they have up there for the Muslim days or whatever. And all of the guys, they sit and talk to me, talk to my little brother, and not one of them said it was worth it.
mm-hmm.
Like all the people they killed, like even the ones that had, I'm gonna use the word reason to kill, or reason to do what they did. They was like, it wasn't worth it because I don't even get to see my baby girl. I don't even get to see, like, the thing they did it for. They are now without forever,
Right.
and that thing is still in the world,
Mm-hmm.
whirling without them,
Without their protection.
without their protection, and they still want to protect, but they can't. Right? So,
They can give words, but the words may fall on deaf ears because it ain't like you can actually be there.
Right? I mean, and all these cats, bro. You know, I was a little kid, so they all look like mountains to me. Like all these dudes was like they was all big. Like, man, you can't protect nobody in here. You just protecting your ass. Like it's not like you can't protect. So I took that to heart. Like that, you know,
Right.
these guys that's in here making big rocks into little rocks, they all said it wasn't worth it. Not one person said, yeah, and I'll do it again.
Right.
Right?
Yep. That's why I said I'm better than a street nigga. You know what I'm saying? Have no desire to be that. You know, got a t-shirt, bump sticker, been there, done that in my
Yeah,
youth. But at the same time, like, man, that's nothing to brag about. That's nothing to stand on, because just like the guy Ali Dawu El and BK Soul Farm just said, every good brother that I know that has been incarcerated and served some time and came home all say it's not about a regret, but they wish they know now what they didn't know then, because they would not have wasted that time that they can't get back, because they lost so many valuable years of their life that they would have, like, you know, to been doing something different.
yeah.
So, I mean, no matter what that is, whether it's raising children, whether it's just spending time with family, what is different than being in a cage.
All the arguments he couldn't have with his spouse,
You
you know,
know,
face to face. Yeah.
you
Nah,
know, being there, you know, like military people missing first steps, missing recitals,
missing everything.
you know, missing graduations and things of that nature, you know. So no,
Birthdays, anniversaries.
all that people don't, you know, so it ain't
Yeah.
no, like, I don't even know how these young people don't realize that being better, you know, like all these suckers be online that be talking about going to jail is hood and all this other, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck all them niggas, man. Like, for real, like, going to jail is not something to be bragging about. You know, go do your time and getting your stripes up and all this, man. That shit corny. That shit is 100% corny. Be better than that.
And
Be
the women that support that lifestyle are worse than trash, right? Like they worse than the dudes, because the dudes are doing it for the females, for the attention of the females, right? So if you got a slew of females talking about they don't want no soft guy, they want a roughneck. Every soft guy is gonna put on a bandana, and not everyone, but
they want a baby they can take to jail to see their daddy, to say your daddy a real one. He a real one.
because
Like, really?
the one that comes home every night and pays all the bills is a sucker.
You know, when you gotta imagine how disappointed Lord Durk's father is that he lost a son, and now his only other son that he had, I don't know if it's 3 of them or 4, how many of them, but you know, his golden boy, now he gotta go spend the rest of his life in prison.
The money maker.
Something that he just did, just something that he was happy he got out to spend time with his son. Like, come on, man.
Correct.
And y'all and people think that
Correct.
that shit ain't cool. You know, like, I mean, Lil Durk, he got to deal with what he got to deal with, take responsibility for his own actions. But I know as a father, like, man, that'll hurt me to my stomach, man. Like, damn.
You didn't learn from me. You didn't learn from my experience. You didn't learn from my failures. You thought that you had to do this in order to be my son.
I mean, maybe not even, you know what? That's cool. But maybe just to be some tough guy, to be some gangster, to hold some image of like you just the realest motherfucker ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit corny, man. That's why I be like, dog, I do not be trying to be the realest version of myself on this podcast. I had fun with this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I have fun, I joke, I go into character sometime, I jump out of character. So this is like a box of chocolates. You know, you don't know what you're gonna get. For real. Even though the flavors are usually written on the back of the box. We was talking about that, right? You know,
Yeah,
but
nah, God.
but I mean, man, it's the internet. We're gonna have fun, but like I say, we're not the gurus either, but we're gonna try to drop some jewels, man, because it's enough people talking about nonsense. It's enough people that's gonna give y'all something that ain't gonna benefit you. You know, it might be a little entertaining. I hope we entertaining too, but I mean, when was the last time a person focused on how can I be better? And not looked at it as a bad thing, not looked at it as like, oh, being better. I don't need to be better. Though, or they didn't hear in their voice, the voice in their head talking about, you don't need to be thinking that you better than somebody. You don't need to be thinking that you better than this, when you probably are. They're better fighters. They're better listeners. They're better communicators. They're better athletes than other athletes. That's why you have the pros and you have the minors.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's all around us. Better is all around us. What you want to be, what you want to do. Are you going to do the work? Because that's what it's ultimately going to be. You know, right here. Accountability is a tough pill to swallow, but are you going to hold yourself accountable? Self accountability is even, is like that's a pill. Like accountability is a pill. Self accountability must be like like a whole
Horse
water,
pill.
a horse pill, right? Thank you.
Not
I ain't know where to go with that.
nah, but it is 100% facts though, right? Because we talk about the members, right? And we talk about the lazy people, and they see things in you, or they see themselves in you, but they see the lack of action on their part, and the get busy on your part, and they get in their feelings, and just instead of just saying good job, they start nitpicking. Why you got tape on a beehive? Why you got this? Why you got that? Like things that don't even matter about nothing. Because if you even if you know the answer, or you find out the answer to that question, the only thing you can do is answer that question on Jeopardy, if you ever on Jeopardy. Like
Right.
it doesn't actually help you with your life, or the situation. Like people be wanting to have elevated conversations, but then take those elevated conversations and make them meaningful. And I'm like, nah, fam, like I'm one of them cats. We don't need to talk on the elevator at all. Short,
Right.
short of what floor?
I'm like, actually put me on the bus with everybody on the short bus and give me a couple months. I guarantee everybody be pulling up in their own cars.
You know what I'm saying? Like shit.
For real. Like, I guarantee we be taking the a different route to school.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
because we don't because people be trying to make it so extra, and those conversations are those conversations, right? Like I get it when the brother just came on, when he was just like, about the soul and the spirit part of it. And that was like, okay, yeah, but like we dealing with something more basic than that, right? Like this is a lot more basic, because if we get into the soul spirit dynamic, like we're going into the metaphysics of it, like this stuff
And
don't even matter.
and
Like,
and and to even have those conversations, we would have to agree on a foundation of what those terms meant in the first place. Like
yeah, yeah, of course.
we would have to define soul and define spirit. We would have to define those things and not deviate into how we feel about these words,
Right,
right?
right,
That's
yeah.
why when he said it, I was like, nah. We gotta bring this back to earth, homeboy. You
Right, bring it back to,
know?
yeah. Gotta bring it back to earth. Because that's what we dealing with. We trying to get a
because we
cohesive level just on regular social interaction.
just on regular social interaction using regular English words,
Yeah.
you know.
because it's definite. But I appreciated his insights, his input though.
Hell yeah.
That was cool. We got somebody pull up. We gonna keep on trucking, but
yeah, God.
So this evening, y'all, we've been talking about the word better. We had 3 questions this evening that we went over. Our first question was, why is the word better commonly thought to be insulting? And we shared a lot of things in relation to why we thought it was why it's commonly thought to be insulting, mainly because of the meaning, the way that we apply meanings to words. Our second question of the evening was, is there any harm in thinking or saying that you're better than a person, place, or thing? And once again, the Cigarden Panel shared their insights. We even had a special guest pull up and join us. But that all was related and went back to meanings of we keep placing meanings on these words, and it's attached to an emotion versus the actual definition of the word, or the accepted definition of the word.
Mm-hmm.
And then our third question of the evening was, can striving for better improve a person's overall decision making and quality of life? And I think collectively we agreed that you should be wanting to be better. Based on the definition we learned tonight, better is a good thing. I'll ask myself first, and then I'll let you take the close it out. God, is bad, is better, bad, good, or misunderstood. You know, better is bad, good, and misunderstood. It's mostly misunderstood. It is definitely good. It is a good word. It's just not fully understood. It's because it's misunderstood. It's just nobody researches it. Nobody goes to see what better is. We just go with the meaning and how it makes you feel, you know. And that's why it's bad, because not knowing how good this word is and how misunderstood it is, it puts a person in a bad situation because they're not applying it to their life so they can get the best for themselves. The guy Ali Dawu El that BK sold from is better, bad, good, or misunderstood, family.
I agree. I agree with what you said. Totally, God. Like, it's definitely a good word. But because of the way people use it, and because of our emotions attached to how they use it, is greatly misunderstood. Like, in a normal conversation, I would say I hate the word better, right? But it's not that I hate the word better. I hate dummies using the word, um, because they don't do proper comparisons. They compare apples to oranges instead of apples to apples, right? Like when you talked about your recipe of the 2 pies, you made one way and you made the next one a little different, and you liked it better than the first one you made, right? You liked it better because it had a different taste. It had more flavor, more spice, it had something more than what you had, right? And that's just the reality of the thing, man. So yeah, I think it's definitely a good word. I think because of our emotions, um, we do not apply the definition, and we only apply how we felt about it, which makes it completely misunderstood. Um, but it's not. We should definitely stop telling people, you don't think you shouldn't think that you're better than somebody else. No, we should stop saying that. We should stop making our youth, or try to make people feel small about wanting to achieve more for themselves and for their families, for whatever their reasons are, right? We should stop denying their greatness and just let them shine, or let them flicker out like whatever stars do, right? Because they shine, like, doesn't stop me from shining. It doesn't stop you from shining. Like, you still got your own process that you got to go through. You can shine or flicker out. Like everybody got the same 24. All right. So yeah, that's why I'm at with a guy. I'm in the same exact position. It's definitely a good word. Badly used, therefore is misunderstood. And that's my piece.
Yep, and that's all we have for y'all. Thank you for that, guy. The guy Ali Dawul at BK Soul Farm, and I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV. Make sure to like and share the video. Also, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, pulling up, sharing, and we want everybody to have a positive, peaceful, and productive start to your week. And we will see you all next week, next Sunday, right here, 8 p.m. on Cigar Sundays Live with a new word. Ready to go.
Yeah.
Peace, God.
Peace, God.
Happy holidays from DBCHEFTV. Get dipped in fresh drip with 25 off the entire website from now to January with a huge selection and savings for every Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and Christmas list. Celebrate the holiday with DBCHEFTV gifts. Visit www.dbcheftv.com and tap the gift shop link.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Girl, we got that touchscreen love. Every time we kiss, I see your face light up. Similar to lightning bugs. Swear I never felt this, so it must be love. Girl, we got that touchscreen love. Every time we kiss, I see your face light up. Similar to lightning bugs. Swear I never felt this, so it must be love. I said lately, I've been thinking about you crazy. Wondering will you be my lady? Cause I wanna take you down. Girl, I wanna show you what this loving's all about. It's our time, girl. I wouldn't waste another minute if my heart wasn't in it. Let me take you down, girl, and spread you on my bed and show you how I'm about to get. Girl, we got that touchscreen love. Every time we kiss, I see your face light up. Similar to lightning bugs. Swear I never felt this, so it must be love. Girl, we got the touchscreen love. Every time we kiss, I see your face light up. Similar to lightning bugs. Swear I never felt this, so it must be love.